Hi, this question I'm going to discuss about the continuous. Okay, it's a continuous random variable. X is a continuous random variable, and this was the cumulative distribution function. Okay, and the question starts with asking us to find the value of alpha. Right, you can pause the video and try that question first. This question is in my lecture notes. Right, so okay. So I'm going to tell you how to solving this. For question A, asking to find alpha. Very simple here. Very simple. Okay. If you compare the boundary value here before and after, you were getting I think getting 0. So you can't find the value of alpha. If you're putting 0 here, you're getting alpha. You're putting 0 here, you're getting alpha. So you can't help, right? If you put 1 here, you have 3 alpha. Here also 3 alpha. Alright? So how to find the value of alpha, right? So very simple, you look at the last value here, right? The last value here. The last value here must be equal to 1. So you must have some knowledge about cumulative distribution function, where you start with 0 and end with 1. So the 3 alpha should be 1. So the value of alpha will be 1 over 3. Alright? It will be 1 over 3. So from here, you can rewrite this by substituting all the alpha into your cumulative distribution function. Alright, so we have find the value of alpha and substitute the alpha in alpha x plus alpha, so with 103x plus with 103. So and this will be 2 alpha x plus alpha, so I getting 2 over 3x plus 1 over 3. And this is 3 alpha, 3 times 1 over 3 getting 1, right? So this is your cumulative distribution function. So now I'm going to using this cumulative function. The question is asking us to find the expected value of x here. The question is asking us to find the expected value of x. Expected value of x, or the mean of x, right? Expected value. So then you know that expected value of x. So this one means that they want us to find the mean, right? The mean. So to find the mean, if you remember that what I've said in the previous video is, you want to find mean, we don't using cumulative distribution function. We don't use cumulative distribution function. So, but we use probability density function, right? So please be careful, okay? This is you must note down that if you want to find the expected value of x or the mean of x for a continuous random variable, you must find the probability density function. So it means that you need to transform this to a probability density function, okay? And you already have the knowledge for convert into the probability density function. For this, you have to use differentiation, alright? Differentiation. So you have to go interval by interval. Means that when x less than -1, right? When x less than -1, so what is your cumulative distribution function? Your probability density function. So ddx of 0, okay, you are still getting 0, right? So we go interval by interval. So when x is between -1 and 0, so your fx will be, you differentiate the function 1 over 3x plus with 1 over 3. So you're getting 1 over 3. We have to do this, even though the question never actually telling us that we need to do this. Because if you want to find the expected value of x or the mean of x, you must definitely using the probability density function. Indirectly, the question telling you, right? So, when x is 0 and 1, so your probability density function will be differentiate ddx, the cumulative function for this interval, right? The cumulative function for this interval, so you're getting 2 over 3, right? And the last interval, when x greater or equal 1, your fx will be, you differentiate the 1, right? You're still getting 0, right? Then you go into summary, okay? Summarize this. So it means that your fx will be, so we don't this one for these two, the one with 0, we're going to put it here, right? 0 otherwise, okay? Then for the first one with the function 103, when x between -1 and 0, it will be 1 over 3. And the next will be 2 over 3, right? 2 over 3. So, for this interval, 0, x less than 1, right? So, now we have already finding the probability density function. With this probability density function, we can find the expected value of x, or the mean of x. Okay, let's see. Alright, later on, if we want to find the expected value of x or the mean of x, ex, right? So, and we integrate the interval, we're using the density function. So, -1 up to 0, right? -1 up to 0 for this function, 1 over 3 dx, plus with 0 to 1, 0 to 1, 2 over 3 dx. And don't forget that this is an expected value of x, right? So we have to multiply each of the integral with x. As simple as that. So if you want to find the expected value of x squared, then you multiply with x squared. Right? Very simple instruction here, okay? So now you're integrating this, 1 over 3. So you will have x squared, right? X squared over with 2 times 3, you have 6 from -1 up to 0, plus with 2x over 3 integrating x squared over 2, x to the power of 2 over 2. So you're getting x to the power of 2 over with 3, right? And from 0 up to 1. If you evaluate this, then you will get the mean of x for this distribution here. So you substitute with 0, right? 0, 0 over 6 minus with -1 square over 6. Whereas this one you have 1 over 3, 1 square over 3 minus with 0 square over 3, so you have 0. So, and you will have -1 over 6 plus with 1 over 3, right? So 3, 2, 6, 1, 2, 2. So -1 over 6 plus 2 over 6, so you have 1 over 6. Means that the mean or the expected value of x for this distribution is 1 over 6. Alright, okay. Next, for this question, the question is actually asking us to find the standard deviation of the continuous random variable x, right? The standard deviation of x. So, to find the standard deviation, at first we must find the variance, right? So, variance of x is defined to be, is derived and defined to be ex, right? Ex squared minus with the mean square, right? So if we want to find the variance of x sometimes also giving this notation, right? Sigma square. So we already have the ex here, right? 1 over 6. Okay, we have the value of 1 over 6. So we need the value of ex squared here. Alright, then we have to be hardworking, finding the value of ex squared here. Same thing also, we just using the probability density function, not using cumulative. We only using cumulative. We only using cumulative to finding the median. You have to remember that, finding the median. So ex squared. So you will have integrating -1 to 0, -1 to 0 for 1 over 3 dx plus with from 0 up to 1, 2 over 3 dx. And don't forget, this is the expected value of x squared, so I have to multiply with x squared to each integral, right? Very simple. So then we continue integrating, right? This one integrating at x cubed over with 3. 3 times 3, we have 9 from -1 up to 0 plus with integrating this also the same. So we have x cubed. Then you have 2 here, right? 2x cubed over with 3 over 9 from 0 up to 1. So substitute, you have 0 over 9, negative with minus with -1 power 3 over 9 plus with 2 over 9, right? 1 minus with 0, and you will have negative negative 1, right? Negative 1 cube is negative 1. Negative 1 and negative, you have positive 1 over 9. Plus with 2 over 9. You have 3 over 9. Then you have 1 over 3. So means that your EX squared, expected value of x squared, will be 1 over 3. So then we want to find the variance of x, right? Variance of x, which is we're taking the value of EX squared, which is 1 over 3, right? 1 over 3, 1 over 3 minus with 1 over 6 squared, right? The mean square. So there we're getting our variance of x, right? We're getting the value of 11 over 36. 11 over 36. But the question requires us to find the standard deviation, right? The standard deviation. So the standard deviation will be the square root of variance of x, which will be square root of 11 over 36. And your answer should be square root of 11 over 6. Or you can give in 3 significant figure, right? 3 significant figure, which were 0.553. 0.553, or leave it in the third form. So, okay, this is the way we're finding the standard deviation, right? So, okay, next the question is asking us to find the median. Find the median. So, find the median of this distribution here. So, for finding mean, for this video I purposely doing is just to revise, to have to tell you that you want to finding mean and expected value of x squared and variance, you have to find the you have to use the probability density function here. Alright, okay, before finding the median, actually there is a question where they ask you to evaluate. Okay, let's see. Alright, the following, the next question, the question after finding the mean and the variance of x, the question if given us that y is 2 minus with 6x. Okay, I think y is another continuous random variable, which is 2 minus 6x. So they're asking you to find the expected value of y and variance of y. So very easy, we can apply the properties. Okay, so you will know that ey, y, right, y. So y is 2 minus 6x here. So means that they require to use the property, so we can write as e2, right, plus with e to the power of negative 6x, right? And expected value of a constant, you're getting the constant. Negative 6, you can take it out, negative 6ex, right? So what is ex here? Expected value of x here. So expected value of x is 1 over 6, right? Is 1 over 6. So 1 over 6, so cancel off, we're getting 2 minus 1, which giving us the value of 1. Means that the expected value of y, right? Means that the expected value of y is 1, right? Because y is 2 minus 6x, right? So you're getting the expected value to be 1. So let's find the variance of y. So the variance of y, say we apply the properties. So the variance of y is the same as the variance of 2 minus with 6x. By applying the properties, the variance of 2 plus with the variance of a, variance of b, negative 6x. So variance of a constant, you're getting 0. And the variance of negative 6x, you have to take the negative 6 out, and the negative 6 you must square, right? Square the negative 6 of variance of x. Then you will have 36 variance of x, right? And 36 multiplied with the variance of x that you found just now will be 11 over 36, right? 11 over 36. So simplify, you are getting the value of 11. Means that the variance of y will be 11, right? Very simple. Just apply the properties of expected value and variance of x. Alright, okay, the question is continuing by asking us to find the median of x, right? Median. So means that once you know median, once you listen that the question asking us to find the median for a continuous random variable, so this is what we did, correct? The capital letter cumulative means that we need to refer to the cumulative distribution function here. So how to deal with this is we look at the value for the, if we substitute the value into the function, right? So what's the value here? You have 0, right? For this, if you substitute 0 here, you substitute 0, then you jot down the number, which is 1 over 3, right? Substitute 1, 2 over 3 plus 1 over 3, you have 1, right? This is also 1, right? So this is very, very important, okay? So as you know that median is 1 over 2, right? The probability that the accumulate must be 1 over 2. So now you look at this 1 over 3. So it will not be in the first and the second one, alright? It's either in the second or the third one, right? So now this one is less than 0.5, right? It's less than 0.5, okay? So the median will not be here. Median will not be here. This one 1, right? 1 is a number that greater than 0.5, right? It's the first one. So the median will be inside here. So very easy. So means that the median you have to substitute into the correct function, correct cumulative distribution function. So now you substitute inside here, you have 2 over 3 m plus with 1 over 3 equals to 1 over 2. As simple as that, right? If the question asking, so 2 over 3m is equals to 1 over 2 minus with 1 over 3. So you are getting the value of 1 over 6, right? 1 over 6, and later on m will be 3 over 2 of the 1 over 6 here, right? 3 over 2, 1 over 6, so it will be 3, 2, 6, so you have 1 over 4, which is 0.25. Means the value of m is 0.25 and must be within these two, right? So means that 0.25 is between these two, right? So the median for this continuous random variable will be 0.25. Very simple, right? Okay, let's look at the next question. Okay, the last question for this problem here will be asking you to find the probability of x minus with mean more than 1 over 3, right? As you know that the mean here is referred to the expected value of x here, which you already find just now, right? Is in another representation for this will be the mean, right? And for variance will be sigma squared, right? So the question asking us to find the probability of the modulus of x minus with the mean. The mean is 1 over 6, right? Greater than 1 over 3, right? So this is the knowledge for the inequality, right? Where if you have a greater A, after you solving the quadratic here, you were getting x greater than A or x less than negative A, right? Whereas for the second formula will be if the modulus less than A, it will be x between A and negative A, right? Okay, now we look at this greater than, right? Greater than 1 over 3. So we apply the basic definition here for inequality. So you are getting probability of x minus with 1 over 6, 1 over 6 greater than 1 over 3, or we use or x minus 3, x minus 1 over 6 less than negative 1 over 3, right? Less than negative A, the A here. So later on we can rewrite this to be px minus with 1 over 6 greater than 1 over 3, or we write as plus, right? So probability of x minus with 1 over 6 less than negative 1 over 3. So okay, solving the inequality first. Probability of x greater than 1 over 3 plus with 1 over 6. So we have greater than 1 over 2, greater than 1 over 2. Whereas for this, probability of x less than negative 1 over 3, right? Negative 1 over 3 plus with 1 over 6. So you have, right? Negative 1 over 3 plus with 1 over 6, you have negative 1 over 6. Negative 1 over 6. Now, we can using either the capital letter Fx, the cumulative, or we can using the cumulative distribution or the probability density function. But I will recommend my student to using the cumulative here. If you have the cumulative distribution, if the question you already have the cumulative distribution and probability density function, it's better for you to using the cumulative distribution because to avoid the integration, right? It's time consuming. So for this, you have to convert you have to remember that the capital letter Fx is defined to be probability of x less or equal x here, right? So we can rewrite this to become 1 minus px less or equal 1 over 2. Convert become less than. So and this one is the same as px less than negative 1 over 6 in continuous random variable is the same as px less or equal negative 1 over 6. So then you can using this convert into f. So 1 minus the f 1 over 2 plus the probability of capital letter F negative 1 over 6. It's a lot easier compared to using the probability density function. So now you have to see 1 over 2 is, you look at the cumulative here, 1 over 2 is between 0 and 1, right? So you substitute the 1 over 2 into the function here. So you will have 1 minus with 2 over 3, putting a bracket, right? Bracket. So 2 over 3, 1 over 2, 1 over 2, plus with 1 over 3, plus with negative 1 over 6. Negative 1 over 6 is the value between negative 1 and 0, right? Negative 1 over 6 is inside here. So you substitute inside here. So you will have 1 over 3, negative 1 over 6, plus with 1 over 3. Then you will get your required probability. Very simple. The negative 1 over 6 is between these two numbers, so you substitute negative 1 over 6 here. Right. So and the 1 over 2 is substituting here. Okay, let's evaluate. Right, you are getting the value of 11 over 18 as the probability for 11 over 18 is the probability for this question. Alright, so hope you understand. Okay, that's all for this problem.